So, my sister, who fancies herself an amateur dog whisperer, decided it was time to teach our dog Max a new trick. You know, something to impress the neighbors and maybe even go viral on social media. The plan was simple: train Max to fetch the morning newspaper. It seemed innocent enough. I mean, what could go wrong with a little canine fetching exercise, right? My sister was convinced Max had the potential to be a superstar retriever, despite the fact that he struggles with the basic sit command. Nevertheless, she was determined to turn him into our very own paperboy. Armed with treats and an unreasonable amount of optimism, my sister began the training. Things were going surprisingly well at first. Max seemed to grasp the concept of fetch and was bounding with enthusiasm. However, things took an unexpected turn when, on what was supposed to be his grand finale, Max sprinted out the door and disappeared around the corner. We waited for him to return triumphantly with the newspaper, but the minutes dragged on, and Max was nowhere to be seen. Just as we were starting to get worried, he came trotting back, tail wagging furiously, but instead of a newspaper, he had the neighbor's cat dangling from his mouth like an overstuffed piñata. The neighbor's tabby, Mr. Whiskers, was not amused, and neither was Mrs. Jenkins, his owner. With a huff, she marched over to our house, demanding an explanation and, surprisingly, an apology directly from Max himself. My sister, caught between laughter and embarrassment, tried to explain that Max had misunderstood the concept of fetching entirely. Meanwhile, Mr. Whiskers was perched on our porch, looking like he'd been through a tornado, glaring at Max with the disdain only a cat can muster. It was clear that peace negotiations were necessary, and quickly, before Mrs. Jenkins started calling her lawyer. In an effort to smooth things over, my sister promised to bake Mrs. Jenkins her famous chocolate chip cookies, and I, in a moment of inspired diplomacy, suggested that Max be enrolled in a fetching fundamentals class. The situation was finally diffused when Mrs. Jenkins, with a reluctant chuckle, agreed to forgive her overly enthusiastic canine. As we watched her walk away, Mr. Whiskers in her arms, my sister turned to me and sighed, "Well, at least Max didn't try to fetch the mailman." And just like that, we knew the only thing Max would be fetching from now on was the occasional belly rub.